Alright guys, welcome back again here in this brutal Slayer journey we're going on. Of course, we've covered now the first full-length LP, Show No Mercy, and then the first EP, Haunting the Chapel. So now we're moving on to the second LP. Of course, we're talking about Hell Awaits, 1985. Really, really cool artwork yet again from these guys. This time, I think I heard some story about this being like ripped from a comic book or something, this exact scene, and they ended up like getting sued for it or getting threatened to be sued for it or something of that nature. But yeah, I mean, I just really dig the comic book style artwork of all these beasts, going nuts and just eating all these bodies. I mean, it's crazy looking. You're gonna get crazy album covers with Slayer just about the entire time in their discography. So, but just really, again, really, really cool stuff from these guys on their artwork. And, we're still rolling with the same lineup here, this iconic lineup of Tom Araya on bass and vocals, Jeff Hanneman on lead guitar, Kerry King also doing lead guitar, and Dave freaking Lombardo on drums, which just goes nuts on this album. These guys are getting better and better as we go, as far as, the chemistry you can really tell. The production, like I kind of mentioned last time in the Haunting the Chapel review, it's because that alone was quite a bit of a production increase as far as, from the debut album to Haunting the Chapel, which they came out, the same, I think that came out just 1 year after. And just it was like a little teaser. Haunting the Chapel was the perfect teaser for this right here, because this, the production is very similar to that, except, of course, that much better on here. And with all that being said, let's just start it right off with the title track, Hell Awaits. Oh my god, what a brutal track. I mean, man, absolutely brutal stuff here. Of course, you start off with, it sounds like a record spinning backwards. I don't know what they're saying. Something about Satan, clearly. And it's just super, super spooky, with the whole thing, with the whole backwards masking thing of records back in the day. I guess they were kind of playing into the paranoia of that, which was just really kind of cool, kind of funny from these guys. But really, I mean, really dark and evil sounding nonetheless. And then we just kick things off right into gear, fast as all get out. The production's immediately on a highlight, and we just get a really, really fast-paced track. One of the best tracks off here, and I love, in the chorus, the dark growl of, Hell Awaits, or just evil-sounding stuff. And, might just be up to this point here the most evil-sounding track we've got from them. And there's been some heavy, heavy shit in them first two. But, man, this thing is just fast, dark, evil, and heavy. And, I mean, man, and the production really emphasizes that. The bass up in here from Tom Araya, I mean, it's incredible. Definitely a highlight of it. And, I never really noticed that before on previous listens. I noticed it, but not as much as, I did on this particular past couple of listens here I've done for this album. I mean, his bass playing is, you can hear it real well, and he's just kicking ass on this thing on the bass. So props to Tom here. Then we hop on over to the second track, another one of my favorites off here, Kill Again. Just absolute brutality. I mean, the lyrics are literally just telling you, kill, kill, kill again. And just very, very fast. Some of the fastest stuff these guys have done, probably ever, with Kill Again. And just another song that's just an absolute favorite of mine. We're getting, two pretty, I think overall the songs are longer than the first two albums, or than Show No Mercy and Haunting the Chapel, first album and EP. With Hell Awaits cracking in about 5-6 minutes, and Kill Again, being around the ballpark there, 3 minutes or whatever, which is kind of the same as what we'd see on those. But then we hop on over to At Dawn They Sleep, which is that's a pretty lengthy one, and it's just quite the epic that closes out side one, if I'm not mistaken. I think there were just 3 tracks on here. Let me check it out on that first side, because that one was, like I said, a pretty lengthy track here. We'll just crack it open and see what we got going here. All right, so Yes, okay, yeah, because I mean, it looks like Hell Awaits and At Dawn They Sleep. They're both like 6 minute tracks. So yeah, that does close out that first side. And my God, I forgot how much I love that song. That this is one where you get just an absolute brutal drum solo from Dave Lombardo. He's going freaking nuts. Sounds like he's got octopus arms, like that Cozy Powell album, that's got him with the 8 arms. Um, that's what Dave's sounding like, and he's just crashing and burning through this track on At Dawn They Sleep, and just really, really, obviously with Slayer, dark, evil, satanic lyrics at this time. These past few and going forward, there's a lot of that going on in here. And this has just become possibly one of my favorite, if not my favorite tracks on this whole album. At Dawn They Sleep is top tier stuff. I mean, again, with the drum solo, the bass, everybody's shining bright on here. And then there's just the shreddiness going on, and the riffs are really solid. And this track, in a way, reminds me, like the riff of it reminds me quite a bit of, like the main riff to Rain and Blood. So it's kind of like you can kind of see where those really, really hooky riffs were going to start coming into play during their songwriting process. Then we open up side 2 with Praise of Death, another really, really cool one, really, really fast one, kind of a quick burner there. Solid track off here. I'd probably say maybe my least favorite off here, but again, it's a great freaking song. Just like these past two, my least favorite is still an incredible song. I mean, these guys are they're on a run right here. This early mid-'80s Slayer run is just unstoppable. And Praise of Death is it being maybe the weakest track on here. That ain't saying much because it's a great, fast, heavy, headbanging tune. Then we go to Necrophiliac and just dark and evil, another just fast, brooding one. Definitely one of the highlights off of this side 2 here. And it kind of follows along the same suit as Praise of Death, just being super, super fast, and same thing with like Kill Again. Obviously with Slayer, you're getting fast, but some of these, it's just like you're hearing Dave just smashing the hell out of them drums back there, and they're on a whole different level of fast. And obviously Slayer's a thrash metal band, but there are moments here where it's like, dude, they're going so freaking fast with those blast beats and drums, and especially on the title track, Hell Awaits, with that dark, evil growl. They're just like right on the tippy toe, right on the tip of the iceberg of reaching that death metal point. But again, they're not death metal. Not trying to say that. I'm just saying, like, if you would have the growling vocals, we would have a death metal album right here from these guys. It's that fast with the drums and everything, and just that heavy. But again, not trying to say it would be better if it was. Obviously, no, Slayer needs to do what they do, but I'm just saying, like, that's how fast and heavy this thing was, the point I'm trying to make. But anyways, then we go to Crypts of Eternity, which has always been a favorite of mine off here. It's a fast one, but a little bit slower than a lot of these other ones off here, but that is not a bad thing at all. As later on we'll see Slayer kind of slow things down, get a little bit more melodic. And the chorus of this one is just really, really cool. I've seen the darkest depths of hell, something beyond the witch's spell, just really wicked kind of stuff. The riff in there is just killer. One of my favorites off here, got to be in like the top 2 or 3 songs off here. And all these ones that have, like, Hell Awaits, Kill Again, At Dawn They Sleep, and this one, Crypts of Eternity, those 4 are like some of my favorite Slayer songs of all freaking time. And you'll find that a lot, again, in this early kind of era of them. But Crypts of Eternity has always been a highlight for me. I remember on my first, whenever I first listened to this album, that was just a major standout on there for me. And that was one I just kept going back to. I was like, man, that one's damn good. That hooky chorus really grabs you. Then we close it out with Hardening of the Arteries. And man, I forgot how good this one was. An incredible closer. Great way to close this album. Go out with a bang, as they do. And it's just, oh man. The drums are, the pounding of them sounds like the pounding of the heart. Them arteries just hardening, I guess. But it's just an incredible closer to a, yet again another masterpiece from these guys right off the bat. This is how it kind of goes a lot of times with these, not always, but a lot of times with when we're running through these discographies, we get those that the band just gets on a run, and it's just they were just unstoppable at the time, and this is one of those runs from Slayer, just like you had like the Iron Maiden run from like Number of the Beast to like Seventh Son. That's just like one of them legendary runs, and we're kind of looking at one of these legendary runs from Show No Mercy and going forward until well, I don't want to spoil like my thoughts on some of the other ones or anything, but we're in the midst of this legendary run from Slayer. We've got just an epic in Show No Mercy, an epic in the EP, and just an epic in Hell Awaits. And of course, next time we're gonna be looking at probably their most iconic album, their most legendary album, with a Rain in Blood. And that's a big one. That's a big one. And again, wasn't about to trying to spoil it, but yeah, that's a part of this legendary run too. No secret there, right? I mean, come on, it's Rain and friggin' Blood. But we'll see. They'll kind of take maybe a different approach with almost a borderline conceptual kind of take with Rain and Blood when we take a look at that next time. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this right here. This is just such a really awesome album. Do you guys like the production on here? Do you guys think it's like a big improvement over like Show No Mercy? Like I think. Do you guys like kind of the darker, even faster stuff they were going for, or do you guys maybe prefer like again, very fast stuff on the EP and Show No Mercy, but definitely more melody-based choruses, especially on Show No Mercy with like Die by the Sword and everything, which I love. But there's kind of those albums are very different. The evolution is very clear. Especially going back and listening through these all in order, it's like, man, I'm really kind of hearing the evolution, whether it be the production style, the songwriting, just kind of how these guys are evolving, which is just a really fun thing about when we take a look at all these and just go right in order with them. And again, Slayer is one of those bands who have just evolved throughout the years and have had a very interesting evolution, and we're right in the beginning stages here. So anyways, guys, yeah, let me know what you think about Hell Awaits. And next time, like I said, we're going to be taking a look at the iconic, legendary album, Rain and Blood. So we'll dive into that next time. Again, still kicking it in the 80s run of these guys. So stay tuned for that. And let's talk about this thing in the comments. Talk about some Slayer. And like, subscribe, comment. Thanks, guys.